morning, traders. I am Emily Advani, the CEO of the Investment Banking Institute and your host here at NewsWare's Trade Talk. Joining me is trading anchor Bill Olson, who brings more than 30 years of institutional trading experience to our program. At Trade Talk, we provide the facts, themes, and trading ideas for the day ahead. Today is Monday, March 3rd. We jump into a new month of trading today after markets jumped on Friday to end February. All three major indices closed out regular trading in the green. The Dow gained 601 points, or 1.39%. The S&P 500 climbed 92 points, or more than 1.5%. The Nasdaq advanced 302 points, or 1.63%. Bill, let's get into a new week and a new month with what is happening in the markets this morning.
Hi, yes, good morning, Emily. I'm watching the S&Ps. The S&Ps are positive. We're up 0.37%. That's close to 0.4%. That's nice to see. And the market's really awaiting more news announcement on Trump's tariffs plan. Remember, tariffs on goods from Canada and Mexico are scheduled to start tomorrow at 25%. However, there are indications that that rate may actually be reduced to 10%, as those two countries have taken steps to appease President Trump. One of the things that they're doing is they're talking about also putting on tariffs against goods from China, which would really put China in a square box there. If that does occur, that would be a definite positive for the markets. Key economic data point for today, that ISM manufacturing support could come in a little high. It could come in a little higher than expected. So, keep an eye on that. That comes out a half hour after the market opens. Crypto stocks are rallying this morning. President Trump announced the creation of a strategic crypto reserve. So, at the end of the day, you're seeing some of these crypto stocks having some big moves today, which is nice to see. There's a host of earnings reports due out this week, specifically on the retail sector. So we got to keep an eye on that. Defense stocks are in play. Listen, these European countries are indicating that they're willing to increase their defense spending, and that's causing a boom for these both U.S. and European defense stocks. Let's take a look at the action going on in Europe, and the DAX is really the story right now, because the DAX is up 620 points. That's 2.75%. The defense stocks, are gaining on the prospect of higher military spending by the region. Plus, there's an ECB meeting going on this week where they're expected to lower interest rates. I think that is on Thursday. Then you look at the FTSE. The FTSE's up 81 points, or 0.93%. That's good. I've seen some gain in mining stocks. They are working on a peace deal for Ukraine without the U.S. That's positive. And then you look at France. France is up 82 points, or 0.94%. So, everything's in the green. That's good to see. And then we're taking a look over at Asia last night. Asia was mixed, but the Nikkei jumped 629 points. That's 1.70%. Japan's manufacturing sector showed a slight improvement in February, with the PMI coming in at 49.0. Which is up from 48.7 in January. Hong Kong delivered a gain of 0.28%. Listen, the pending U.S. tariffs are really weighing on that market right now. But China fell. China was flat. It fell, 0.12%. But China, the big story out of China is the China PMI data came in positive. But all eyes are on this two-session meeting that starts today, because they're expected to give out their economic blueprint for the year, and that could include some stimulus action. So, that's positive for Chinese markets, but it didn't reflect it in the index. But you know where it did reflect it? In oil. You look at oil. Oil is trading higher this morning. You got WTI at $70.11. Yes, it's above $70, $70.11. It's up 0.5%. And we got Brent trading 73.18 cents a barrel. That's also up 0.5%. Tariff action is negative for oil, but the China PMI data, that's helping to push prices higher this morning. That's what I have for you in terms of morning market update, Emily.
Bill, plenty to be watching as we kick off this new month and this new week. We can hear in your opening, we're following along with political news, waiting to hear about any latest updates when it comes to tariffs. We're also anticipating at least one economic report today worth watching. And as you mentioned, earnings action will be heating up as we move throughout the week. So we'll begin there, Bill. Give us a rundown of what we should be watching when it comes to earnings action.
Yeah, well, there's nothing really that came out that's really significant this morning. But after the bell today, we got GitLab, ticker GTLB. Their EPS is 23 cents. Expected move is 15.66%. Ticker OKTA, Oscar Kilo Tom Apple. Their EPS is 73 cents, and the expected move is 12.82%. And Target, TGT, Time Grace Tom, they're releasing tomorrow morning. Their EPS is $2.24, and the expected move is 8.93%. Like, listen, big week for retail earnings. You also got, Ross Stores, Foot Locker, Abercrombie and Fitch, Macy's, and Costco. They're all Gap. They're all due to report this week. So, plenty of earnings to keep an eye on. Upcoming earnings to keep an eye on, Emily.
An interesting week for retail earnings, as you mentioned, and we'll be following all of that action right here on NewsWare's Trade Talk, following that data and those releases throughout the week. We're also following economic events every morning, and this morning there's at least one important report to note. So, Bill, give us a look at everything we should be watching when it comes to economic events.
At 10 a.m. Eastern time this morning, we get the ISM manufacturing PMIs. At 1 p.m., we get the Atlanta Fed GDP now statement. At 11:35, I see that St. Louis Fed Bank President Alberto Maslam will be speaking. But the key economic report is that ISM manufacturing PMI data. You know, estimates indicate it's going to come in at 50.6, which is slightly lower than the 50.9 reading. But from last month, but I wouldn't be surprised if it comes in actually higher because there's a lot of activity, because everybody wants to get in before these tariffs start to hit. So don't be surprised if it comes in a little higher than the estimate of 50.6, Emily. But that's what I have for you in terms of economic data today.
Watching those economic reports using your NewsWare just as you're using your NewsWare to watch those earnings releases, and there's still market moving information you follow along with day in and day out. You look at things like merger news, guidance news, shareholders meetings, buyback news, other catalysts, all using your NewsWare. You're also able to group your stocks together like your FANG stocks and your Dow 30 stocks to track trends on the trading day. So, Bill, what else do you see is possibly moving the markets today?
I'm just doing a quick data check, and I'm looking at my Dow stocks. I got 16 higher, 11 lower, the rest unchanged. I'm looking at my FANG stocks. There's a little weakness in Apple, but everything else is trading higher, so that's a good way to start the day. Looking for some of the news behind it, like Apple. Apple's a little weak this morning, but there's a news report out there saying that Apple is behind the curve on its AI Siri feature. So that's causing the weakness. Google and HP are scheduled to release this year a 3D video communications platform that works without requiring users to wear glasses or a headset. That's nice. Tesla, Tesla's up big this morning. It's up $8 or 3%. It was named the top pick in autos by Morgan Stanley this morning. So yeah, that's having a benefit effect on the stock this morning. In terms of Dow Jones 30 stocks, we just want to talk NVIDIA for a second. NVIDIA is a little weaker this morning, but Chinese firms continue to have the ability to buy the latest AI chips despite the ban. They're just using third parties to get access to the chips, essentially. Boeing, Norwegian Air Shuttle agrees to buy 10 Boeing 737-800 aircrafts. Nice. Verizon, ticker VZ, and Accenture partner to advance cybersecurity solutions at Visa. That Visa Tap Pay and phone adoption soared 200% year over year, and the growth's worldwide. It's a big move forward for them. In terms of merger news, Prada is moving closer to buying Versace from Capri Holdings for almost 1.5 billion euros. In terms of guidance news, Kroger, KR, Kilo Richard, they say full year 2024 adjusted EPS slightly above the high end of guidance range. Nice. Surgery Partners, SGRY, Sam Grace, Richard Yellow, they see full year 2025 revenue coming in 3.3 billion to 3.45 billion. Street estimate 3.39. That's an uptick. Like to see that. In terms of buyback news, AppLovin, ticker APP, they said 500 million is going to be immediately available for repurchasing shares. Okay, they actually came out that late Friday, I saw. But that's what I have for you in terms of news hitting the tape this morning, Emily.
This is the type of data that NewsWare delivers daily. It's factual, it's market moving, and our alerting functions bring it to your attention as it happens. Go to www.newsware.com now and sign up for the trial and see for yourself the benefits that professional Newswire delivers. We've now made it to that time of the show for the Trade Talk Pick of the Day. Bill, we're starting a new week. We're starting a new month of picks. What is your pick of the day today?
Going with GitLab, ticker GTLB, Grace, Tom, Larry Boy. Earnings are out this afternoon after the bell. EPS is 23 cents. Expected move is 15.36%. Now let's look at Friday's call volume. 3,347 calls traded against 1,887 puts. Not 2-1, but not bad. Open interest, 73,016 to 29,269. Wow, that is more than 2-1. That's nice. Major brokers are rather positive on the stock. I'm seeing strong ratings, but for me, I want to get into the stock, between 61.10 and 61.40-ish, that's kind of my sweet spot for this morning. So yeah, that's my pick of the day. GitLab, ticker GTLB, Grace, Tom, Larry Boy, Emily.
GitLab it is today. We will follow that along with you. And coming up, we're going to see how February ended up with your pick of the day from Friday. It was actually a play that came after earnings. So stick with us for that recap. But first, let's take a look at the current breaking headlines that have hit the tape in our hot off the press segment. Bill, take it away.
Okay, what do we see here this morning? Capri CPRI climbs on the report of profit, moving closer to this $1.6 billion deal for Versace. Trump's out there saying, tomorrow night will be big. I will tell it like it is. Kroger CEO resigns. Ronald Sargent was appointed as interim CEO. Interesting. U.S. to expedite delivery of $4 billion in military aid to Israel. Reddit co-founder is joining Frank McCourt's bid for TikTok. NVIDIA and Broadcom are testing chips on Intel's manufacturing process. China has targeted American agricultural exports in its crosshairs as it prepares countermeasures against a fresh U.S. import tariff. They don't buy enough agricultural products in the first place. I mean, they said they were going to, and they never did last time around. So, Alaska Air, ALK, flight attendants have ratified a new 3-year labor contract. That's all I'm seeing this morning.
Okay, Bill, before we dive into trading on this Monday, let's do that check-in on Friday's pick of the day, which was Dell Technologies. Now, you did make this pick after their earnings release, and earnings came in better than expected, but there was a lot of volatility in the stock. It was down, and you were looking to take advantage of that discount, looking for under $100 as an entry point, maybe even as low as 98, hoping to take advantage of some swings in that stock. So, Bill, how did your call work out?
Yeah, I mean, that worked out worked out very well, actually, because, if you look at it, it didn't go under 100. I mean, it hit a low right at the opening of 99. So, that was kind of a beautiful thing. I mean, the stock opened at $100.96 and then fell down to 99. So, yeah, that was nice. But then it turned around with the market and it hit a high of 103.90. It closed at 102.76, but you look at it this morning, this trade, Dell Computers is trading 103.50. So, yeah, anyway, if you got it at the opening or my suggested price, I mean, the 1% was there. So, yeah, Dell, ticker DELL, was a winner on Friday, Emily.
That was a win to end February. And in February, you had a total of 19 picks, 2 flat trades, only 1 real loss. Without those flat trades, we're looking at a 94% win rate for the month. Not bad. As listeners recall, it was sort of a wild ride in markets in February. So that is a pretty strong number there. We will check in with you tomorrow about today's GitLab pick of the day to see how we kick off March. Bill, thank you as always for your expert insight. Join us back here tomorrow and each weekday morning at NewsWare's Trade Talk when we provide the facts, themes, and trading ideas for the day ahead. Again, I'm your host, Emily Advani, here with trading anchor Bill Olson. Traders, you know what to do. Let's go out there and make some green.